Hi, Rick Dickerson from Headliner magazine here. Today we're going to have a little look at this TouchMix-30, which is an extremely nice piece of kit. I'm here today in rehearsals with my own band, Demon Pact, from many years ago. After 40 years we're doing a bit of a reunion, so we're going to set up, we're going to use it as both our PA, and we're going to record it. You can use this with any DAW. Essentially this is a 32 channel in-out interface as well. Connect it to any DAW, as I said, and it will use the mic preamps to pick up any microphones you've plugged into the system and record them. There's also the possibility of using up to 14 aux channels. Some can be stereo, mono. There are also 8 channels of effects available besides those aux ends. There's groups, a number of other facilities, DCAs, digital controls, to group instruments together. So we're a heavy metal band, but part of the new wave of British heavy metal, which sort of reared its head in the late 79-80. We started gigging in late 1980, did some demos, and then released a single. Funnily enough, after we, actually just before we split up. As I say, our singer wanted to go off to university, so we were always aware that might happen. It's interesting that we've, in certain circles, been put on people's influences, albums, and been cited as, the godfathers of thrash metal. One quote that we remember seeing from some years ago. Little things like that are kind of, it's bizarre how things move on, and stuff that was being done prior to that rears its head and says, well, that was an influence on me, that's why we're doing what we do now. So yeah, we've been involved in a little bit of that history, hence the reason why we've been asked to get back together and go and do this festival in Germany. So yeah. For today's setup, we're using just 15 channels, I believe, and all I'm doing is doing a one-to-one for the drum kit, 2 guitars. I've got a DI and a microphone on the bass, and we've got a radio mic for our vocalist. We're just doing a simple one-to-one to our workstation here. For the purposes of PA, you've got infinitely more control here within the TouchMix. I could gate, compress, multiple effects, as I mentioned earlier, and I can send it to the various monitors, or indeed IEMs that we have set up around, keeping it as simple as we can. It's extremely quick and easy to learn how to use this desk. If you've got any kind of knowledge or background, or have any experience of any kind of desk, whether it be analog or digital, this desk is super quick and easy to use. In fact, rather than having a system whereby you type your own names in, you can just simply select preset names and setups, which give you a basic EQ. You can either decide to then use that, you can take it out, alter it, do whatever you want, and it gives you a really simple, quick and easy basic setup just by simply pressing this preset and pulling in what you want. And there are multiple factory presets in there, they're extremely useful. I set this up this morning. Well, we've been setting out for rehearsal, so I've just been sending it to 2 separate monitor mixes. Probably took me about 12 minutes just to set up a radio mic, send it to mixes, put a bit of effects on it. When it came to adding the band today, it's probably taken me about 20 minutes, other than micing it up, to simply pull everything in and then arm it within the workstation. So very quick and easy desk to use. More importantly, it sounds good. That's what I like about it. It's not, it's not coloured in any way. It's a fairly open and natural sounding desk. I like it. It's very good. It's very useful for this rehearsal setup because it's the quickest and easiest and simplest and smallest desk I've ever kind of brought into an environment like this. So that in itself is quite useful. From a user perspective, I think most people would find this an extremely useful bit of kit. Anything from a small band, yeah, to anybody wanting to do a small studio setup. All those kind of options are available to them. If you're not going to be using more than 32 channels, and in fact, indeed in most recordings, you know, the chances of using all of those anyway are quite remote from single takes, but it gives you that scope to overdub and do various other things. And the fact that it is a 32 in and out channel, so you can use your workstation to record, but you can also send it back and then use the facilities within the desk to mix if you so want to. It fits in a small sort of carry case, like a bag, like a gig bag even, and you know, you can slip it behind your seat in the car. It's so small. Very impressed with this, and I like the sound of it. It's brilliant.